where to even begin on Chris Davis? How about we just show his wins above replacement? Here he is at his peak in 2013. 53 home runs and a third-place MVP finish. He struggles the next year, but then bounces back to lead the majors in homers again. This led to a 7-year contract extension, and then his performance fell off a cliff. So let's look at the numbers and try to pinpoint why this decline has happened. My name is Bobby, and welcome back to Stat Stories. This video was suggested by subscriber Green Kingfisher, so thanks for the idea, and remember, if you have a video suggestion, then leave it in the comment section. In order to understand Davis's decline as a player, we need to understand his player profile. He isn't fast and isn't a good fielder at first base, so his value comes from hitting. Davis is known for home runs and strikeouts, though I wouldn't label him as a 3 true outcome player. And that's not due to his walk totals. Davis actually draws a pretty high number of walks. I'm more referring to his batting average. In his better seasons, Davis had a decent batting average. He wasn't just some all-or-nothing power guy, he was a competent hitter. But those years seem so long ago now. This is Chris Davis's batting average since 2012, which was his first year with the Orioles. Now there's been a decline since 2015, but 2016 wasn't bad since he still hit 38 homers and set a career high in walks. Our examination really begins with 2017, which if you look at wins above replacement, this is when he stopped providing any value. In 2018, as I'm sure a lot of you know, Davis had one of the worst seasons ever. His 168 batting average was actually the lowest of any qualified hitter in the modern era. And his struggles carried over into 2019, where he went 54 at-bats without a hit, the longest such streak for a position player in history. So now let's look at some of the reasons why this happened. Here is how Davis fared in at-bats that ended with a fastball. These at-bats comprise about 60% of all of Davis's at-bats, and you'll notice that he hits the fastball pretty well. Let's throw in off-speed pitches. This accounts for about 15% of his at-bats, and due to the small size, is subject to the most variation. The main thing to take from this is that Davis hit off-speed pitches fairly well compared to fastballs, except for 2019 when he went 3 for 29 against those pitches. So that leaves one last pitch type, the breaking pitch. I feel it's only natural for a player to have less success against breaking balls, but just look at 2018 and 19. Davis got a hit on breaking pitches less than 10% of the time in these 2 seasons. So clearly, breaking balls are a problem for Davis, but that can't be the only reason for his decline. Let's look at some StatCast data, which goes back to 2015. In terms of exit velocity, Davis has gone from 91.8 miles per hour, or among the best in the game, down to 89.1 miles per hour, or a drop-off of almost 3 miles per hour. His barrel percentage has declined in a similar fashion, and if you're unfamiliar with this metric, the quick explanation is that it's how often a player hits the ball with ideal exit velocity and launch angle. I explain it more in my video on Christian Yelich, so check that out if you'd like. Davis's hard hit percentage has also fallen by about 7% since 2015, so there are obvious reasons for concern here. But what if I told you that Davis wasn't performing poorly in these metrics? Here are the MLB averages for each measure. Davis is better than average by quite a bit in each of these. And yeah, he's still declining in these metrics, but hitting the ball as hard as he does without getting results would indicate he's had some bad luck. But remember how I said Davis is known for striking out? Well, Davis struck out 31.3% of the time between 2012 and 2016, which is pretty high. But as long as you're hitting home runs and getting on base, you can still be a valuable player. But then came 2017. A 37.2% strikeout rate is the highest rate for a qualified hitter ever. 36.8% the next season, the third highest ever. The second highest was Joey Gallo in 2017. And in 2019, 39.5% and 352 plate appearances. Davis's struggles kept him out of the lineup more often in 2019, but this is the highest rate ever for a player with that many plate appearances in a season. Now, there was a different player in 2019 who struck out 45.6% of the time and 228 plate appearances. So comment who you think that is. You won't get a prize, but you'll look smart. So now that we've touched on what's gone wrong for Chris Davis, time to look at how he has attempted to adjust. StatCast has data on shifts going back to 2016, And we see that defenses shift their positioning for the left-handed Davis over 90% of the time, which is a lot. And if we look at his tendency to pull the ball, we see some interesting things. 2014 and 15 saw a huge spike in balls hit to the pull side, but then things go back down to 40% and balls hit up the middle increase. Now, I don't have data on how often defenses shifted on Davis prior to 2016, but it would look to me as if you were trying to pull the ball less and instead go up the middle in order to adjust to the abundance of shifts. Last chart now. This is zone swing percentage. In other words, how often a player swings when a pitch is in the strike zone. For context, guys like Freddie Freeman will swing at 80% or more of strikes, while Mike Trout or Alex Bregman will swing at 55 to 60% of strikes. So good hitters exist at both ends of the spectrum. But Chris Davis is swinging at fewer strikes while also being less successful. And when we throw zone contact percentage into the mix, you'll see that he isn't swinging and missing more often. So if you recall how Davis started striking out more in 2017, and combine that with how he's letting more strikes go by without swinging, it seems that a patient approach isn't really the best thing for him. Let's recap. Chris Davis's ability to hit the breaking ball has disappeared. He doesn't hit the ball as hard as he used to, but still hits it hard. While there is some degree of bad luck in his struggles, his historically bad strikeout rate prevents him from providing any sort of value. We've also seen some evidence that he has changed his approach in order to improve his results, but so far, it hasn't helped. On a personal note, I read a lot of articles on Davis while researching him, and I think it would be unfair of anyone to question his character or work ethic. He's tried everything to improve his performance, and I know he's even contemplated just giving up on baseball, but he's pulling through it, and I hope he comes back strong in 2020. Also, he and his wife Jill recently donated $3 million to a Maryland children's hospital, which is awesome. So that's that on Chris Davis. Please leave a like and share this video if you enjoyed it, and click subscribe to help this channel grow. If you have any suggestions for future videos, leave them in the comments section. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.